The finish. We're here with Charise Wilson. I did my research on her. Her resume is pretty extensive. She's ranked as top 60 point guard nationally. Led the Catholic High School Athletic Association, scoring 17.1 points per game. Named the league's MVP as a senior for St. Anthony's in Huntington, New York. Averaged 3.8 assists per games. She had Newsday All Long Island first team honors by leading St. Anthony's to a Class AA championship, CHSA Class Championship. What's up, Rich?
What's up, Rich?
What's going on?
It's good seeing you.
Yeah, good seeing you. So I'm honored to have her here. She balls, 5'5", and she balls. She plays school ball, Division I. When did you start playing basketball, Reese? Like,
I would say since a baby. Not a baby, but like I know I started dribbling around kindergarten. First grade, I started going to my brother's practices. That's when I got seen for the first time. And see Cyril's. I played CYO ball, then I played AAU, then I played high school, and then I obviously went on to college. But I would just say I started young, maybe like 7 years old, just playing basketball in the backyard with my brothers.
So around 7, that's when it all started.
Yeah, 7. That's when I fell in love with it.
Now, did anybody push you, or you just saw your brothers playing basketball and you were like...
So organically it happened. Like I was just playing with my brothers. Obviously I went to his practice, and that's when the first recruit had seen me play in the gym, and they said, "Who's this girl in this gym with all boys?" So then I ended up playing CYO on a all girls team, being picked up by somebody. And once my dad seen I had talent, of course he pushed me. Like after that, it was no limits. After that, like he knew that the sky was the limit for that, and he just pushed me to be the player that I'll end up being.
Wow, so he saw the interest through you, and he pushed you there. Okay.
Yeah, he seen the love that I had for the game, and really the love carried me the most. But definitely the support of my family really pushed me to be the best I can be.
So what was the time and place where you were like, this is what I want to do? Like, I want to do this for, I don't even know if you wanted to do this for a living, or this is what I want to be a basketball player. When do you remember that time?
I would definitely say at a young age too. My first basketball game, I had like 20 points, and like I was 7 years old.
20 points at 7?
8 years old, playing with older girls, and I love the attention. The attention really drove me. I'm not gonna lie. So I would say just the how people were fascinated by how I played and made me feel good. So I always wanted to just be better and better and better. But I would say seriously, on a serious note, I'm from North Babylon, so North Babylon's big on basketball. We got Danny Green, Bria Hartley, and I just remember going to Bria's games and like, who is that? Like, she's a beast. And obviously she's in the WNBA now, so I grew up watching her play. I got to play 2 years with her in high school, and now I just continue to watch her play as well, even though I stopped playing. But just being in that North Babylon environment, it really drove me to play and want to be like the greats.
Yeah, North Babylon's big on basketball and football.
Yes, yep.
What AAU team did you play for? Like travel team? What?
I started with the Running Rebels, and then we branched off into Riverside Hawks, based in Manhattan.
So you commuting to Manhattan every day, or what was it, twice a week? What was
it was maybe like 3 times a week.
3 times a week?
It was 3 times a week. I drove with my coach a lot. My dad couldn't make it all the time. Right. But yeah, the Manhattan gym. But we was based from Long Island, so we had practices locally as well. So I would say 1 time in Manhattan, once a week, and then twice in either Huntington at St. Anthony's or Huntington Middle School.
Okay.
Practice, yeah.
So this is basically a Long Island team, but you guys travel to the city.
Yeah, we had some city girls too, though.
Okay, majority city girls or Long Island girls?
Majority Long Island.
Wow.
During my time, Long Island was big on basketball. It might have changed now, I'm not sure, but during my time at least, Long Island girls basketball was huge.
I see that a lot. A lot of Long Island players commuting to the city.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of Long Island teams. Okay. Wow. So how'd you end up at St. Anthony's? How'd that happen? How'd you get to St. Anthony's? Because you're a North Babylon girl. How'd you get to St. Anthony's? How'd that happen?
This is actually a long story. I did not want to leave North Babylon at all. The coach ended up that I played for 2 years. I started in 7th grade on varsity. My freshman year, he ended up leaving. I still wanted to stay, but Dad was like, "That's not happening. Like, basketball's serious, and if he's not there, I don't think basketball's gonna be taken serious anymore." His name is Mike Petrie. He's a good guy. I'm still close to him to this day. Love him to death. Was a great coach, great mentor. I wish I got to finish high school out with him, but I didn't because of the move. But I ended up going to St. Anthony's mid-freshman year. I had to sit out, just like college rules. I had to sit out my 10th grade year because of the transfer. And my St. Anthony's coach happened to be my AAU coach, so I knew him. He wanted me to go there from the beginning, but I kind of wanted to stay home. I wasn't really a private school type of girl, but I'm so glad I made that switch. I'm glad that my dad forced me to do it because it helped me grow. Ken Palm, he actually is a great mentor in my life as well. Still cool with him to this day. And then St. Anthony's basketball was crazy. We ended up winning the state championship. We had a good time, good 3-4 years there, and that helped me get my scholarship into college.
Yeah, I read up. I did my research on it. You guys beat Nazareth.
Yes.
In the chip. You beat Nazareth in the chip.
That was a tough team.
Yeah, you beat them in the chip. You had 18 points, 7 rebounds. That's big because if you study basketball, all the teams that the guards rebound and get a lot of rebounds, they do well. So I was researching your career. You was getting some rebounds.
I was wherever the ball was at, that's where I was at, yeah.
Wow, so you had 7 rebounds, 18 points. They had Bianca, what was her name? Bianca Cuevas?
Yeah. She played at South Carolina.
Yeah, she had 50 the night before.
Yeah.
Against Christ the King.
Yep.
But you guys had
that was another good team too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Y'all held it down to like 16 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, so y'all ended up beating them. Then you went to the New York State Federation tournament and lost.
Did. That sucked. That sucked. I fouled out that game.
Oh,
I don't know if you can pull that up, but I fouled out.
You fouled out that game?
Yeah, that was bad.
My thing is, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys were up 62-48 going into the fourth.
Yeah.
Is that accurate information?
Yeah. As far as I can remember, we was, I wouldn't say blowing them out, but we was really comfortable.
62-48.
Really comfortable, and then
fourth. That's a win.
Quarter it turned into a nightmare.
Wow. What happened? Where did it all go wrong? You fouled out. When'd you foul out?
I fouled out maybe in like 6 minutes into that.
Oh.
So we had like 6 minutes left of the game. They started coming back when I was in the game still, but once I fouled out, it was over. And I just remember I was always hard on my teammates, but it came out of love, obviously.
Right.
And I was just like with the freshmen, like, y'all gotta finish this out for me. This is my last year,
right,
and I'm trying to win this whole thing.
Right.
But yeah, we came up short. That team came back. They had the momentum in that fourth, and that was hard. That was a tough way to end my career, my high school career. But to get to that point is still hard. So you can't knock it. But yeah, it was tough. That was a tough loss.
Right.
Then you just brought me back. You just brought me back to high school. I forgot all about that. But yeah, that's definitely how my career ended.
How was that bus ride home?
How
was that bus ride home?
It was silent. Dang, it was really silent. It's funny because the bus ride there, we was really loud. But the bus ride home was silent. Yeah, nobody really wanted to talk.
Y'all went pretty far, and but that 62-48 lead, I'm like, wow.
We were proud of ourselves though.
Oh yeah,
just to get there.
Alright. Cool. So what I do, we went to the high school. I'm gonna bring these questions back around when you go to college. What was in your playlist? What was you listening to get hyped before a game? High school. This is high school. Charise Wilson had a game. You got your AirPods in. What are you listening to? What's in your ear?
I can't remember back then, but I do remember one video vividly when a bunch of my teammates and all of us was on the bus on the way to a game. It was a Nicki Minaj song.
Nicki Minaj?
And we was just screaming on
what song? That's the hype song to get before the game?
I don't know why we were singing that. I forget. I don't know the name of the song. Okay. It was some Nicki song though.
Okay.
And we was in there just wilding, just jumping. acted a fool. We always brought a speaker like the JBL.
Yeah.
I don't think we had JBLs at the time, but
Right.
it was some maybe the off-brand or something at the time. But we definitely had.
Bootleg, but it was a speaker.
Yeah, it was a speaker, and it worked. But we had those on the buses, and we used to have it on blast, and that's what got us hyped.
That's
Each other,
right.
not
All
the
right.
music.
All right, cool.
College was the music, like in your ears, and you want to yourself.
Okay. What kicks was you wearing? Like, what was your sneaker that you liked to ball in? What sneaker do you remember that you were like, yo, this is the kick?
I like bowling on LeBrons. I
LeBron?
always did, but in high school, we talk about high school.
High
now.
school. This is high school. This
We
is
were sponsored by Under Armour, so
Okay.
we had to wear some Under Armour.
Oh, you had to wear that sneaker.
Yeah, yep.
That was the kick.
Yeah, they wasn't really all that, but you know they got the job done.
Yeah,
They brought us
yeah.
the feds, so.
Yeah. Who was your toughest opponent like in high school? You're like, oh man.
Tough opponents?
Who was your toughest opponent? Toughest.
In high school?
High school. This is high school. These questions are coming back around college, but this is high school.
When I was young, like when I played up at North Babylon in 7th grade, that's Bria's era, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was Aisha, there was Darty, there was Gabby, there was a bunch of tough players.
Gabby Douglas.
Yeah, but I didn't really play much in 7th grade. It was more me soaking up information at the time. I got a couple minutes here and there. But I would say really my era, which was freshman and up, Bianca. She went to South Carolina.
Oh yeah,
Bianca
Cuevas.
And Sierra Calhoun.
What was
I actually ended up playing ball in college with Sierra.
Mm.
She went to Ohio State and then she went to Rutgers.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was so tough about Bianca? What was it?
She was just a fast guard, you know, New York City. She got out the mud. She was tough. She was tough to play against. But it was fun though. It was fun.
Okay. Who was your favorite college player? High school.
When I was in high school, my favorite
favorite college player.
I seen Maya Moore. I seen Candace play. I think I was younger when Candace was playing. But Maya Moore, I loved watching her play in UConn. And the Baylor guard, what is her name? She's in the WNBA now. The Baylor guard. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She's tough. I forget her name, but she was so tough. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna get a name. Your favorite NBA and WNBA players?
NBA.
High school. This is high school now. These questions come back around.
Okay. High school was Derrick Rose. I loved watching Derrick Rose play. He was a explosive point guard, and that's what I wanted to be. And he was a scoring point guard, and you know I love to score. So Derrick Rose, and then WNBA, definitely Candace.
Okay.
Definitely Candace.
Okay. That's cool.
Which is interesting because she was big.
What was your favorite school? Like the college?
Like where I would want to go.
Where did you want to go? Like, this is where I want to be at.
UConn was definitely that was the school.
UConn was the school.
That was the school, yeah. I remember Gino used to come to the practices to watch Bria play, and I was like, dang, I want him to come back and watch me play. But UConn was definitely the school. It changed now with girls basketball. Now all these schools are big schools, so yeah, it was UConn, Rutgers, and Tennessee. Those were my favorites. So.
Okay. So, this is gonna come back around too. The Charise Wilson now is talking to the Charise in high school. What advice does she give to her?
I would have definitely. Wow, that's an interesting question. I would have been more mature in high school.
You talking to her? What would you say? What would you say to her?
Charise, you need to have been a little bit more mature, and I don't know. I really don't know. I'd rather the high school me talk to the college me. I was more driven in high school.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was more driven in high school than I was in college.
Wow.
So I would say reverse.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay. All right, so now we're moving on to the college stage. High school, senior. when college is coming around now. So how many offers did you have in college? For college? Your senior, how many offers is on the table?
I actually committed pretty early, but
Okay.
I committed the beginning of my junior year. I had a few offers. I didn't have a lot right away. I had maybe 4 or 5, and then I had committed early to Northeastern. I didn't even go to Northeastern.
Now, how that happen?
I committed to so many schools so many times and switched. It's because I was very indecisive, like all the time. And yeah, that would be some advice to give myself, like be stern with your decision making, be confident in it, and just go from there. But yeah, I was very indecisive all the time with choosing a school. But the Northeastern coach was Coach LaForce, and she was a good mentor to me just throughout the whole recruiting process. She was the realest one, so I wanted to stick by her. And when she left Northeastern and went to Rhode Island, that's what made me make that transfer move to Rhode Island. So even to this day, I'm still cool with Coach LaForce. She was like a good mother figure to me. And what separated her from the other coaches is she said something to my dad, like she needs a mother figure in her life, and that stuck with him, and that's something that stuck with me. So when I seen that she cared about me more than just a recruit, I was like, I gotta go over there. And she held her word. Like even when we transferring, we still had maintained a great relationship. Everything that I went through, she was there, regardless of basketball or not.
Wow, she's pretty organic, huh?
Super organic.
That seems like the thing with me knowing you. You like organic transparency, and that's just you. You're a real person.
I'll pick that up over the hype any day, anytime.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. Just New Yorkers in general, they have their EQ, which means they can read people pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I think that ability is good. And you just felt that realness in her, because there's a lot of fake people in the industry, right?
Especially in the basketball world, it's bad how fake it could be, especially AAU with these young kids. If you're not in the right hands and with the people that have their best interests, it can be really, really hard for them. I feel like because I was able to pick up on the organic stuff at a young age, it actually I had a smooth career. I would say I never really had any trouble with relationships with coaches and things like that. Everything's been great for me, and I've always been around like mentors who are still in my life. So that's how I know they were real.
Because they're still there.
Yeah, a lot of people can have a bad experience in college, just in general, even high school. And that's just all about falling in the wrong hands. You want to fall in the right hands.
Wow. Good stuff. All right, so you chose. That was my second question. I was going to ask why you chose Rhode Island, but that answers that, which is good. Okay. So freshman year, she has a lot of accolades. You guys got to go online and check all this stuff out. Freshman, you named the Atlantic 10 Rookie of the Year. That's big.
Yeah.
Freshman, you coming in there balling.
I definitely hooped freshman year.
You was hooping.
Yeah. Had them fresh young legs.
You was averaging 16.1 points, 4.4 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.8 steals per game. That's pretty interesting for a freshman. And this is a Division I school, and my thing is usually guards are average. Like, what was the average size of guard in your conference? I would say at least 5'9", 5'10", right?
Yeah, they were. I was definitely short.
You was short.
I was short my whole career.
Yeah, but that didn't matter.
But the average guard size, like for women's basketball. 5'8". 5'8". 5'7". They usually stop recruiting. But yeah, I was 5'5". I was smaller than everybody's, but it motivated me. I knew I had to do something to separate myself. So one thing about me, I'm always gonna play hard.
Right.
Offense, defense, get rebounds, get steals. Like I did whatever I had to do to make sure that I proved myself.
Right. Okay. Wow. You set a program record with 84 3-pointers. That's a lot of 3-pointers.
I was throwing them up.
You was shooting.
I was shooting. I had the green light at Rhode Island.
So you just shoot. You just let it go.
I was letting it go. I mean, I would get criticized if I had if my percentages was bad, but for the most part, I worked on my game, so I was confident in my shot.
What's the average shooting week? Give me a number.
I can't tell you how many I got up, but I can tell you how many hours I put in.
So how many hours a week about?
week. I would say a day at least. I know for sure the minimum I put 2 hours after, like, without practice, without workouts, without coaches, like just me and the ball in the gym. That's 2 hours on my own. I'm just in the gym, whether it's by myself or with like a partner or somebody, and we just shooting and working on ball and things like that.
Just shooting, just by yourself, 2 hours extra.
Yeah.
Additional. You gotta put that work in, man. You gotta put that work in.
You gotta see the ball go through. You gotta see the ball go through the net over and over again.
Yeah.
Just seeing it go through the net, that boosts your confidence. So like, you would say it's shooting in the game, but I don't even consider that. Like every time I left my hand, it's not cocky to me, but like every time I let it leave my hands, I figured it was going in. If it was a miss, I don't think it was a bad miss, because like I shot it because I thought it was gonna go in. And that's just from trusting the process, putting my work in.
That's what I see a lot though. Nowadays, it's a lot of, I think kids are thinking too much out there.
They're thinking too much. Even like sometimes when I'm just in the gym with kids, you can see it in their heads. Like they're all in their heads. Can't play like that. You gotta play loose.
Yeah.
You gotta play confident. Confidence will bring you a long way. And I was a confident person. I was a confident basketball player. The more confidence you have, you can. Sky's the limit.
So, you have a great career at Rhode Island. You have a great career at Rhode Island. You transfer now to Rutgers. Now, did you have more offers? I know you had Seton Hall and Rutgers. Any others?
Yeah, I had some other schools.
Wow. So.
Oh, do you want to know or no?
Yeah. Whatever. We're free here. This is an organic. The finish is an organic interview talk show.
So after my freshman year, like after I got A-10 Rookie of the Year, technically you can't speak to coaches unless you speak to compliance and you get, I forgot what it's called, so you get freed up from the school. But a lot of schools wanted me to transfer, and that was the game plan. I was supposed to just start there and go, but I'm a very loyal person, and I was loyal to my coach, so I didn't want to just do what I had to do there and just leave the school. Like I love the program was good to me, so I decided to stay. And but yeah, I had offers from Indiana, Cincinnati, Seton Hall, Rutgers, a handful of teams in the Big Ten, a couple teams in the ACC, a couple teams in the SEC, New Mexico. I forget what conference they're in. That was a pretty good conference too. I was thinking about going there. That was just for something different. But I was like, you know, I thought twice. My dad was like, you're not gonna last in New Mexico.
Wow, but loyalty over all of that.
Loyalty over all that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know, New Mexico, I might have been out.
No, but you know what it is. So Rutgers was one of the last schools to actually call me after like I was getting all those big offers. But when I heard C. Vivian's voice, I went to my coach back at Rhode Island, and I said, "Guess who just I got off the phone with?"
Wow.
I got off the phone with Vivian Stringer. I remember watching her when I was young, when she was playing against Candace Parker and Pat Summitt, Tennessee coach, and I was like, I can't believe I'm on the phone with her. So like, out of all coaches I spoke to, I was most fascinated by her. And then I made that visit. The culture there was great. Everything was great, and actually ended up being really smooth for me.
So is that the main reason why? Because I know I read that you committed to Seton Hall. That's what I read. Is that true?
Yeah, I did.
You committed to, so all right. Once again, you're like.
So I committed to Rutgers verbally. Then I went to Seton Hall. Wanted me to come down there and check it out and give them a chance. So I went there. I committed to them. I kind of signed. I signed something. I don't know what I signed, but I was like, I went on that visit by myself. Like I wasn't with my dad or nobody. So I just signed it just to like solidify it. And then I was like, I made the wrong decision. I wanted to go back to Rutgers, and so I called the coaches there, and we made it happen.
So Coach Stringer probably was the. She's one of the. I had to research her. She won a lot of games.
a lot of games.
Just simplify. She's winning a lot of games.
She's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Just to be a part of her history, that's why I wanted to go there.
It's big.
I wanted to be a part of that history.
That's really big. So you get to Rutgers, right? You're pretty much you're a seasoned vet kind of. You done college.
Mm-hmm.
How is it in that locker room? You walk in. What? Explain to me the first day of the locker room practice. How'd that go? Your first day. Your first day there.
I mean, it was cool. Like the girls before my first day, my actual first day. Like I've gotten to meet everybody.
Okay.
I had conversations with all of them. But it was just a certain standard, especially playing at that level. So I knew I had to rise up to that standard. I was comfortable. I knew Arella Garanta. She's actually from out here as well, Long Island, and she's in the WNBA now. I played AAU ball with her, so I just like bonded with her, like stayed close to her. Both of us was in the gym together before we even had our first practices, and so we just went from there, pretty much. It was cool. It was it felt normal.
Wow. So you already you knew everybody kind of.
Yeah. Now we just had to find a way to all of us to gel together for that season to get as far as we did, and we made it happen.
Yeah, that was a pretty long. Talk about the first game. Talk about the first game. Like, was the stadium? I mean, was it?
Yeah. It was pretty full. It wasn't sold out. Our third game was sold out. That's when Vivian got her 1,000-point career win. That one was sold out. It was rocking in there. You couldn't hear anything. First game was pretty loud too. We always had a good crowd at Rutgers. But I was injured my first game, so I did a lot of watching. I played half my minutes usually in that first game, coming off my injury. So yeah, I watched, soaked in some information, and then that's when I really got to it. It was my second game.
So second year. Alright, second game was like,
yeah, that was rock. Yeah. So I got my starting spot back and all of that, so I was ready to go.
You ready to go. Alright, cool. So we're back to these questions again. Now, before the game, what's in the playlist? What you listening to now?
I was listening to A Boogie that year.
You got A Boogie on the playlist? Okay.
I was a big A Boogie fan that year.
Alright, A Boogie. Kicks, what sneakers was you wearing? Was you sponsored again? Under Armour, what were you wearing?
Outside, casually, I wore pretty much everything. But our team was sponsored by Adidas. Adidas everything.
You're a sneakerhead though. I always see you with you be having a lot of sneakers. What?
Yeah, some kids call me hype beast. I don't even know what that is.
You got a lot of sneakers.
I wear everything.
Yeah.
I have Jordans, got some Yeezys. Got a little bit of everything.
Okay. Toughest opponent now, college. You done. We could say Rhode Island, Rutgers, whatever. Now, who toughest opponent?
Player. In college that I played against.
You were like, oh man.
Oh gosh, Jonquel Jones.
Jonquel Jones, huh?
Jonquel Jones and Tasha Cloud. They're both in the WNBA now.
Wow.
Yeah, they was something serious.
They were different. Were they bigger girls?
Jonquel was big. So like I played against her, but I wasn't matched up against her. Tasha I was matched up against,
right.
and she was different. She was different.
So what was different about them? Was it?
They were just nice. They were older than me at the time too, but you could just tell that they was gonna be leaguers when you was playing them. Like, yeah, I'm about to be playing. I'm playing against WNBA players.
Right. Wow. Was there a lot of because I know nowadays there's a lot of reclassification.
Oh gosh.
22 years old, freshman.
Yeah.
Did they have a lot of that when you
Of course they did.
Coming up?
So I was 18 in college and I'm playing against 24-year-olds. Yeah, it was a lot of people reclassed either in high school, so they were older in college, or they either in college there's a lot of injuries, so people sit out years and come back the next year. There's so many, or people could just redshirt. Like they feel like they're not college ready, so their coaches will just redshirt them their freshman year, so they'll be older as well.
Wow, so it's just what it is.
Yeah, you just gotta play who you play. Could be anybody.
You didn't care what age? Anybody in front of you?
I didn't think of it like that at the time. It was just like, if anybody was good, I wanted to play good. I wanted to play them because I wanted to play the best.
It's just in your DNA.
Yeah, it was fun. I was competitive. Still competitive now.
Yeah, you competitive. Wow. So, Charise, that's not playing college ball now, is talking to Charise in college. What advice do you give her?
I would have definitely told Charise to watch what you're eating and take advantage of the recovery that the coaches offer. Like before, in college, it seemed annoying. Like I'm putting all these hours in practice, lift my shots after practice, and then you want me to come back in and do recovery for another 2 hours. I would have went back in for those 2 hours and do those recoveries, because I would say around my junior year, I knew my body was just not having it no more. I wasn't moving the same. I was getting hurt, little naggy injuries, things like that. And even to this day, like my ankle's still messed up pretty bad, my wrist is messed up pretty bad. So I would say I would have paid attention to my eating, trying to be as healthy as I can, and recovery, take it serious.
And when you say recovery, right, Charise, that means like resting or
getting the proper rest,
right.
Ice baths, proper treatments. Because in college they give you all these resources. It's just you as an athlete to take advantage of it. So I didn't want to get in an ice bath just because I didn't feel like getting an ice bath. But if I could go back in time now, even as a freshman when I was really healthy, I would have took an ice bath every chance that I could get. I would have went to treatment every chance that I would get, because I didn't realize that it's going to catch up to you in time, and that's exactly what had happened to me.
So that stuff is all provided for you. You just have to go.
It's provided, yeah. You gotta go.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And you're just like, nah, I'm not going.
I just felt like I didn't need it. I felt
You didn't need it.
invincible.
You're young.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not feeling nothing. I'm invincible. But then one day you wake up and you feeling it, and it's like you're not recovering the same anymore.
How true is that? Like I'm like that when I was younger. Look at me, I'm young.
Yeah, you eat whatever you
yeah,
want.
look at I'm going to eat McDonald's. Look
Yeah.
at me. It will catch you.
It'll catch you.
Wow.
I was a cookie lover. I was eating cookies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Cookies are good though.
They are good.
What kind of cookies you eat?
Chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip, fresh baked?
All day, yes, of course.
Yeah, it's not like a fresh chocolate chip cookie.
They used to call me Cookie Girl.
Cookie?
That's what my teeth called. They used to call me Cookie Girl.
Wow.
And
Yeah, you know what? That sugar can affect you.
It does. It caught up to me. It caught up to me over time. My body was not recovering the same.
I think to be at peak performance, you have to take care of your body.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I know.
Put the right thing. You gotta feel yourself the right way.
What is the biggest thing you learned from basketball? For life?
For life?
For life. Like what has basketball taught you that can correlate with life and help you in your life?
Relationships and how important they are. Mentorship, and really understanding what your presence can do to people around you, whether you know that they're looking or not looking. Everybody's paying attention. So I realized, like, for me, it's mentorship. I want everyone to have a good life experience. So if I can help them in any way, I want to be there, and I want to do that and be a part of their process. I learned that basketball is bigger than me. When I was young and playing, it was hard to see, but after I realized that it's so much bigger than you.
So what are you doing now in the basketball world? What's going on in the basketball world?
I play here and there when my body allows me to. I train, I coach, and even outside of my training, my coaches, like after every practice or every session that I have, I tell my girls, like, I'll give them my number, like, don't use it just for this. If you need something off the court, school-wise, mentally, anything that you're drained about, like, use me as a resource. Like, I want to be there for you. So I try my best to present myself in, like, a positive manner for these young women.
Okay. So you're training now. If somebody wanted training from you, where could they reach you? What's the handle on that?
At Clutch Basketball New York.
Clutch Basketball New York. Y'all heard that? Clutch Basketball New York. Get somebody who's been through the fire, who knows what they're doing. Clutch Basketball New York. That's Charise Wilson. This is the finish.
The finish.